Huch! Hi!
Salve, friend.
Genau das meine ich nämlich. Ich bin Benny Good und wir hatten diese Unterhaltung bereits.
I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
Ihr seid Okay, ich weiß jetzt, wo dieses Spiel hingeht und ich finde es interessant. Ihr seid Galerius und werdet mir gleich anbieten, mich zu Sentius zu bringen, damit er mir mehr über die goldene Regel erzählen kann.
Oh, I guess how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you.
Kein Problem, ich muss
and
gehen.
since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
Bitte? Ein rudimentärer Seilrutschenlenker aus Holz. Nice.
Just
Danke.
attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking. And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it myself. But don't worry, it's completely safe. Probably. All right, see you around.
Alles klar. Nichts stehlen, niemanden verletzen, nicht... Wer immer dies schrieb, hatte offensichtlich keine Chance, es fertigzustellen. Wir sollten uns dann vielleicht doch erst einmal anhören, was denn die goldene Regel ist. Denn ich habe so das Gefühl, dass es nicht nur eine goldene Regel gibt, oder dass es nicht nur eine Regel gibt, und immer wenn man irgendetwas macht, was man nicht tun soll, fängt man halt im Loop wieder von vorne an. Hallo Horatio.
Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius.
Oh, das glaube ich nicht.
I'm afraid I have to insist.
Ich verzichte, ich hätte allerdings ein paar Fragen.
All right. Well, I can't force you. I'll let him know you declined, but he won't be pleased with either of us.
Was ist eure Geschichte? Was könnt ihr mir über den Magistrat erzählen? Wisst ihr, wie man hier rauskommt? Was hattet ihr für eine goldene Regel? Wem werdet ihr eure Stimme geben? Oh.
I'm a legionary of the First Italica, but there's not a lot of fighting down here. So the magistrate has assigned me other duties. I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his daughter, I should say, and the others, and making sure they're all behaving. I also keep a register of new arrivals. I'm from Liguria, up north originally. I was doing alright for myself, 12 years into my service. Had a nice girl lined up for when it was all over. Not anymore. She's probably figured I'm long gone and moved on by now. I try not to think about it. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do something nice for my girl and pick up a little pendant from a silversmith. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting fire. People were screaming, trampling each other. Then some genetricum fugitor tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river. And then, nothing. Blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended up floating so far downriver. But I'm fortunate to be alive, I suppose. Ah, don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labour does the body. That said, Sentilla's disappearance has been more difficult than I'd care to admit. He's one of the better commanders I've ever had, that's for sure. Good stoic. Lives by Seneca's words. Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Can't ask for much more than that. I went around asking the same questions when I first arrived. Never did find a way out. But I learned how to accept my situation. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. That's from Seneca the Younger, if you're interested. I don't see why not. Just make sure I get it back by tomorrow.
Na klar. Zusammenfassung. Ein Verzeichnis mit allen Personen in der Stadt alphabetisch geordnet. Aurelia, Bürgerin, Tavernenwirtin, Taverne in Eldenviertel, behauptet einen Ausweg zu kennen. Sicher gebe ich es euch morgen zurück.
Of course.
Da werden wir doch gleich nochmal reingucken.
Well, as I always say, it's kind of like a divine version of the practice of decimation in the Legion. By threatening to execute 1 in 10 men, the idea is to ensure order and discipline among everyone. And it works. If you knew you could be executed because your brother-in-arms is planning a mutiny, well, you'd bloody well watch him like 100-eyed Argus, wouldn't you? Because your only chance of saving yourself is to stop bad things before they happen. Makes us all responsible for keeping each other in check. It's brutal, of course, but effective. The Legion wouldn't be the most formidable force in the world without it.
Was hat er gesagt? Die einzige Möglichkeit, etwas zu stoppen, ist es, frühzeitig irgendwas zu tun. Mein Kopf explodiert gerade so ein bisschen. Ihr seid also für die goldene Regel. Da, wo ich herkomme, würde man das als Kollektivbestrafung. Das ist ein Kriegsverbrechen.
War crime. Isn't that a contradiction in terms? As Cicero said, in times of war the law falls silent. Your sort wouldn't last a week in the Legion. What's done is done. I was forced to execute my brothers in arms, and those memories will always visit me in my sleep. But life is harsh, and I've come to accept my lot. As with the Golden Rule, I don't have any control over it, so railing against it would be like trying to stop the seasons or the tides. As Seneca the Younger wrote, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing.
Zitiert sehr viel.
If you like. Not that it's any of your business, but my loyalty is and always will be with Sentius. Unfortunately, I don't think my vote is going to make any difference today. See, Domitius has been going around town, shoring up votes for Malleolus with lies, bribery and intimidation. The man's a savage, but he's a gladiator, so people fear and respect him more than they should. Sentius knows about it, of course, but he doesn't have the same rat cunning as Malleolus. This place will be different with that sleaze at the helm. But I try not to worry about things I can't change. I appreciate the thought, but you're new here, and I just can't see how you could make an impact in the time between now and the election this afternoon. In any case, if you're interested in the election, go and have a chat with Equitia, the Vestal Priestess. She'll be overseeing proceedings.
Finde einen Weg, Malleolus aus der Wahl aussteigen zu lassen. Okay. Alles treffen. Ich finde es auch sehr interessant, dass alle Statuen dann zu Kriegern werden. In dem Sinne. Es ist schön, dass da eine Tür ist, aber man kann hier einfach so außen... Na, whatever. So, was haben wir hier denn sonst noch so? Den Herd. Es ist zweifellos so unangenehm, mit so einer schlechten Belüftung zu kochen, aber die Römer hatten das wahrscheinlich für ein Problem ihrer Diener. Ja, wahrscheinlich. Was mich jetzt mal interessiert... Oh, das lesen wir gleich. Ist das jetzt hier immer noch drin? Durchsuchen. Hm. Das ist also dein Zimmer. Das sind deine 14 Dinare. Tintenfass. Ein Tintenfass aus Keramik. Die Tinte scheint aus Ruß und Wasser hergestellt zu sein. Hallo. Ich möchte mal mit Escape da rausgehen. Flakon. Ein kleiner Flakon, der ein rudimentäres Parfüm aus Blumen und Öl enthält. Satinas Tagebuch. Zusammenfassung. Satina glaubt, dass jeder ein Recht auf seine Geheimnisse hat. Lesemodus. Aktiviere Lesemodus. Liebes Tagebuch. Heute schlug mein Vater vor, ich solle Tagebuch schreiben, um mich abzulenken, während wir alle mit dem plötzlichen und schrecklichen Verschwinden meiner Schwester zu kämpfen haben. Als pflichtbewusste Tochter werde ich dem natürlich nachkommen. Die folgenden Seiten enthalten meine intimsten Geheimnisse. Ich weiß, dass ihr dieses lest, Vater. Ich bin vielleicht jung, aber haltet mich nicht für dumm. Wir haben alle Recht auf unsere Geheimnisse. Sentina. Wie, mehr nicht? Also, doch nicht dem nachgekommen. Kann ich mich hinlegen? Nee? Okay. So, was... Achso, hier hatten wir die Küche. Hallo.
Horatius, there's a horrid barbarian sneaking around in our villa.
Excuse me?
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want? Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that well, I don't know.
Ich versuche das mal so ein bisschen zu rekonstituieren. Bloß diesmal ohne sie irgendwie...
Why? Because I'm on this couch and not pacing about the villa. I hope you're not...
Okay. Hoffentlich wollt ihr damit nicht an, dass ihr Verschwinden mich irgendwie freut. Nur eine Beobachtung.
If you must know, I'm here because my father has forbidden me from leaving the villa. I couldn't bear to lose you too, he says, as if he loves me, and not because he needs at least one daughter he can trade off. So you'll help me find her?
Sicher.
Oh, thank you. You should probably take a look through her room. It's the one just by the front door. Maybe you'll find something the rest of us missed.
Dadurch wird die Quest priorisiert und Systemmarkierungen werden angezeigt. Ihr werdet sehen müssen. Okay.
I'd appreciate it.
Ja, ja.
Of course. What have you discovered?
Achso.
Yes, please do.
Ja, und schwuppsidaise dürfen wir da ins Zimmer rein, wa? Oh, ich will mal mit Escape da rausgehen. Ich kann mich einfach wegdrehen. Stehlen dürfen wir das trotzdem nicht. Aber naja. Dann hören wir uns doch jetzt mal kurz an, was denn so die goldene Regel besagt. Hallo.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
Ja, sie.
A curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of a man of great learning.
Ja.
We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're probably probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago. Indeed. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin?
Habt ihr jemals etwas so Außergewöhnliches wie eine Stadt ohne Sünden gesehen?
Nor could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away.
Okay. Okay. Das ist ganz wichtig. Was zählt hier als Sünde?
An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
Okay, das leuchtet mir ein. Ich bin nicht sicher, ob das eine gute Idee ist. Was legal ist, ist nicht immer moralisch und viele eurer Regeln und Bräuche werden da, wo ich herkomme, als barbarisch angesehen.
Barbaric? Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists, and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same? When our people are starving, they are given food rations, and when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate. Our laws forbid treason, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric?
Ein Fehler. Erlauben eure Gesetze Sklavenbesitz nicht? Sieht sich euer Volk nicht blutige Sportkämpfe zur Unterhaltung an? Haben Frauen nicht weniger Rechte als Männer? Verfolgt ihr Christen nicht? Wendet ihr nicht Kollektivbestrafungen an?
Of course. What else would we do with those prisoners of war who would otherwise have been executed? And besides, there are laws for their protection as well. On occasion, but our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking glory, or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. I do not see the harm.
Aha.
Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their fathers and husbands.
Schwierig. Ja, natürlich. Aber mit weniger Rechten kommen auch weniger Pflichten und das Recht, von ihrem Vater und Ehemännern beschützt zu werden. Ah, ganz, ganz dünnes Eis.
You mean the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down half of Rome last year? It's hard to blame the people for being angry about that. Are you talking about our practice of decimation? Of course. We could hardly unite all these warring tribes without a disciplined, formidable legion. Well, right now, you're a long, long way from home. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
Uff. Tipp, diese Fragen werden später.
You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you? "2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us, of this city?"
Oha. Oha, möchtest du das wirklich wissen? Ah, es ist gut, da jetzt die Wahrheit zu sagen. Ich bezweifle es so ein bisschen.
I have imagined it, our downfall, 1,000 times. But it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
Ja, okay.
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future? I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you?
Du, ich kann nichts versprechen.
Well, thank you for your candor, I suppose.
Du, jeder muss tun, was er tun muss, ne? Und wenn du dich dafür opfern musst, dann go ahead. ich werde mich da jetzt nicht an die Spitze drängen, dass ich das machen werde, ne? Also ich möchte dann schon irgendwie nach Hause.
Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot. Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore? What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better. Me? Why would you suspect me? I've just told you, I'm about to sacrifice my own life to ensure these people have a second chance. What reason could you possibly have to suspect me, of all people?
Huh.
I'm glad you think so. Without trust, without each other, we won't be able to prevent what is about to happen. Ah, so you know about that already. It's a devastating loss, of course, but that was over 3 weeks ago, and whatever happened to her, it didn't break the golden rule, so I don't think it's connected with our imminent demise. Still, if you happen to find her and return her to me, I would be eternally grateful. Well, all right. There are those who wish to vote me out of office so that they can pursue their own misguided political agenda. Frankly, their selfishness and recklessness risk destabilizing the entire city. I would be looking very carefully at them if I were you. If I understand Prosephone's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the golden rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
Sicher, warum nicht?
Ah, good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule? No, I don't suppose you do. But I'm hoping that even if you're not burdened with a sense of self-sacrifice, you'll at least see the sense in self-preservation. Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them, if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately. Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
Alles klärchen. Also dann muss ich halt so ein bisschen Wo soll er hin? Muss ich halt so ein bisschen investigieren, wa? Also so. 246 Dinare. Was haben wir hier? Von Sentila an Sentius. Möge Jupiter, Optimus Maximus euch weiterhin beschützen und leiten. Vielen Dank dafür, dass ihr mich zu eurer Tochter gemacht habt. Und vielen Dank für den entzückenden Geburtstagsanhänger. Ich kratze mich gerade nebenbei. Verzeihung. Ich verspreche, dass ich ihn immer tragen werde. Ich fühle mich so sicher und glücklich, weil ich euch als mein Vater und Sentina als Schwester habe. Die Wahlen nächsten Monat scheinen euch Sorgen zu bereiten, aber wenn ihr den Leuten den starken und vertrauenswürdigen Mann zeigt, den ich kenne, dann werdet ihr zweifellos wiedergewählt werden. Das ist dann ja auch so die Frage, was machen wir in der Hinsicht? Ich meine, wir haben die Möglichkeit zu sagen, ja okay, wir helfen dir die Wahlen quasi so zu deichseln, dass der jetzige Herrscher abgewählt wird. Aber dann ist natürlich die Frage, ist das wirklich eine gute Sache? Ein kleiner Hausschrein, in dem die alten Römer täglich um Schutz gebetet haben. Ja. Also es gibt auf jeden Fall einiges hier zu tun.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
Bitte?
What now? What business is that of yours? A lot of people have been looking for her. But it's been 3 weeks, and we've found nothing. What makes you think you can do better?
Oh, ich habe eine Vermutung.
No, it's not that. We all care for Scintilla. She is, or was, a lovely young woman. But I learned long ago not to dwell on things beyond my control. Or to try not to, anyway. But I don't want to seem obstructive. If you have questions, ask away.
Ich weiß, was ihr getan habt.
Scintilla was always a kind, well-behaved young woman. I admit, her disappearance really caught me off guard. If anyone knows something, I'd expect it to be Sentia, Malleolus, Claudia, or Domitius. But none of them will tell me anything. You might fare better though, I suppose.
Kann ich jetzt einfach... Ich kann jetzt nicht speichern. Ah, ich sollte, bevor ich mit den Leuten rede, speichern.
Fine. All right.
Okay. Dann... Blöd. Ist es nicht auch möglich, dass die halt einfach...
Citizen?
als Unfall irgendwo runtergefallen ist oder so? Ist doch theoretisch auch möglich. Dass sie hier runtergestürzt ist und jetzt liegt sie halt da unten irgendwo und es bricht nicht die goldene Regel und all sowas und Naja. Guten Tag. Sentius und Melos, der gleiche Mist, der lediglich anders riecht. Ja. Kannst mal sehen. Warum ist hier verschlossen?
Hey! You're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
Daran hatte ich kein Interesse. Jetzt aber schon.
Contrary little cap at murder, aren't you? Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Ugh, why do I have to do everything round here? So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down into the cisterns looking for junk he could clean up and sell. One day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me the cisterns are haunted. Said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course nobody believed him, because who trusts a Carthaginian, right? Anyway, a few days later he goes back in. And hours go by, and he hasn't come back out, yeah? So I go down after him, and it's dark. But in the distance I can just make out his body, sprawled out on the ground. And hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. No word of a lie. I saw a creature. Like the corpse of a man who'd been flayed. And it was eating Hannibal. If it was a man, maybe. But I swear on my life this was no man. More like a Strix. Or some Versipelus that feeds on human flesh. I didn't stick around to see which. What any sane person would have done. I legged it out of there and put a sign at the door to warn the others.
Tolle Geschichte habe ich hier
Without a
trotzdem.
weapon? Well, it's your funeral.
So. Vielleicht später. Was haben wir hier? Ist auch schön, dass ich hier einfach so mit der Taschenlampe rumlaufen kann und sowas. Ja, kann ich. Eine Skulptur von Minerva, der römischen Göttin der Strategie. Was? Okay. Na gut, dann würde ich aber mal an dieser Stelle sagen, beende ich das Projekt erst einmal hier. Das dürften jetzt, ja gut, 2 Folgen sein, vielleicht 3. Lasst mir doch einfach mal in den Kommentaren eure Meinung dazu da und sagt mir, ob wir das weiterspielen wollen oder ob ich das alleine privat weiterspielen kann, darf, möchte, soll und ihr da einfach überhaupt keinen Bock drauf habt. Ja. Gucken wir dann mal, ne? Ich finde es auf jeden Fall sehr interessant. Es ist natürlich, es wird sich sehr ziehen, weil man hat sehr viele Gespräche, die man da führen muss. Das ist etwas, wo ich jetzt nicht gerade Bock drauf habe, muss ich gestehen, aber abwarten. Vielleicht wird es dann ja doch noch ganz interessant. Und wegen dieser Tür da hinten hätte ich gerne die Waffe gehabt. Aber gut, vielleicht irgendwann anders. Vielleicht kriege ich auch irgendwo ein Schwert oder so. Schauen wir mal. Ich bedanke mich auf jeden Fall fürs Zusehen und dann sehen wir uns vielleicht dann ja auch schon in der nächsten Folge. Tschüssi!